Morning, everyone. Hi, everyone. It's Rita. It's Rita. I'm trying to do the tricking my dog to not talk when they not greet you when we're first uh, coming on. It's not working with Lola. Hey, everyone. Good morning. It's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue, and I'm here for today's Cricut Chat. It's Thursday. Can you believe it? And I can't because I feel like I just started the week. But then again, I didn't have a show on Monday or Tuesday. So, um, and I'm starting to think about, next week. So I guess that's almost over this week. Today we're going to be doing um, a something called a can koozie. These are sleeves that you buy. Look, here is what I bought. I bought a 14 pack of can cooler sleeves. They basically, first I thought they kept the can cold, which I think they do. But the other thing that I heard is that they'll keep your hand from freezing up. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I didn't have a can to show this off, but this is basically what it is. It's a piece of neoprene, I think it's called, that's cut in such a way that it makes a hole in the top, and you just take your can of whatever, beer, soda. I don't know if whiskey comes in cans. You can put it in a glass like this, like I did, and it keeps your hands from freezing up and your drink cooler, I guess. And perhaps keeps that, what happens in summertime when you get like condensation on the outside, which is always a pain. Anyway, so I got these a while ago, and I did post a link as to where to find them. I got them at Amazon. They had a lot of different choices. I posted the one that I got, which was a 14 pack. It was like $10. And if you use my link, it helps me out because I am an Amazon affiliate. So this one was the variety pack. I thought, well, why not? We do the variety pack. And so I got that. I don't know if we'll get to do all of these today, but I started playing with this yesterday, and I came up with a couple of ideas. I have some, this is everyday iron on that I did with a monogram from the Monogram maker. And then I started playing around with just different styles of the monogram. So there's some glitter. And then I got involved with, uh, the infusible ink. So neoprene is 100% man-made fabric, right? I don't know if it's 100% polyester. I think it's its own thing, but it does. Yeah, this is stuck together. It does take infusible ink really well. So I thought, let's just kind of focus on infusible ink with these, because we can get some pretty amazing things happening. Which I'm losing this little tiny piece of my turtle, but I have to somehow get that stuck on there. But look how cute that is. There's going to be my turtle that I cut out. So I want to show you, and that's what this is. This is neoprene, right? And I used this to get that look. I used the Patterns Rainbow Paint Splash. I also cut it out in a solid, and I'm going to show you how to sort of weed it. I'm going to take you through the whole process uh, from the part where you cut it to where you're going to put it on using your EasyPress. I'm going to use the new heat guide that is like an app for the EasyPress 3. However, if you do not have an EasyPress 3, you can use the heat guide. So there's a heat press app called Cricut Heat, and there is a heat guide which is online, and that's one we always use. So today I'm going to use infusible ink. So I did start off using this infusible ink, which I cut down you see here, you can buy though these infusible ink packs that are half the size. And these were created mostly for the mug press, and that's fine. But this works really great because a mug is about the same size as a can, I suppose, around same diameter. Not really sure, but anyway, you could use this, or if you have infusible ink in a large sheet and you like the color that you want to use, just cut them down using your trimmer, and you can do that like that. But to make things easier, let's just use one of the many colors that are available. And here's a couple. It also comes in some infusible ink. I'm sorry, it also comes in some patterns. So, but I have here 3 different colors: green, black, and blue. Let's use the blue just because it's nice and bright and colorful. And this is the difference. So if you see it says infusible ink, that means you must use a very hot press. It doesn't have to be the EasyPress 3. However, it needs to be able to get over 385 degrees, I believe, 380, 385. And they also require that you use this EasyPress mat, which we'll talk about in a second. So Smart Iron On is different because you can iron it on just about anything. Infusible ink can only go on things that are like a high polyester count or a high man-made count, I suppose, in this case. Okay, so let's open up this box and have a look at what's inside. Now, infusible ink is not a smart material, so we're going to cut this on the Joy. So we're going to need a mat. So when it comes out, it usually comes in this protective sleeve. Don't take it out until you need it, because moisture is kind of the enemy of infusible ink, and you don't want to have water going on it or moisture going on it, because the ink is actually impregnated onto this carrier sheet, and that's how it's going to be cut. You also will get in your box some instructions, and usually you get a little piece of polyester fabric that you can use. I used it for a test, but you can also use it to clean off the surface of whatever you're doing. I think it's a nice little feature. Some infusible ink boxes, especially the ones that say Mug Press, do not include butcher paper. So do be aware of that. And I just basically will sneak butcher paper from another box. So I never seem to use all the butcher paper. So that's what I'm going to do here. I snuck a little piece from here. So let's go ahead and place this on the mat. Is the Cricut Joy mat. It's the what is it, 7 inches, 6.5 inches, and we're going to place it so that the shiny side is down, so that leaves the ink side up. And this is a paper. It's paper with like a plastic backing, so it's going to weed a little bit differently. And you notice that I have this leftover. If I had a longer mat, I would use the longer mat. I just couldn't find one this morning, so I figured we'd use this. I'm not going to actually cut it because I like to cut my material after the fact. So let's talk about the cutting itself. We're going to use the Joy, and so what we need to do is I'm going to use my iPad. Now, unfortunately, on the iPad, the Monogram maker is not already on there. So I took my yesterday's project and used the monograms that I created from yesterday's project, and that seemed to work out just fine. If you have your Joy hooked up to a desktop or even a laptop, you could use the Monogram Maker as long as you get the Monogram Maker module. But so in this case, we're just assuming that I've already done the step of the Monogram Maker, and now I'm going to actually cut out the monogram that I created. So in this case, this monogram, let's go back and look at all the different monograms I have. So I have a bunch of different monograms here. And let's find my original. So we can just go ahead and look at all of these. And some of them are multicolored and some of them have pen on them. And so what I did here was, I'm hoping I can find my turtle. This is it, I think. There's my turtle. Okay, so see the turtle, it was 2 colors right here. This one I don't need, so I want to make sure that let's hide that. Hide that, okay? This one we can hide too. All right, so this is the way the original monogram came out, with 2 colors for the turtle, which is really great. But the thing about infusible ink is that the color is sort of in the infusible ink transfer sheet. So you will have to weld the image in order to cut it all on one sheet. So in the case of, say, if you wanted to use something like a pattern, the whole thing would be a pattern. It's probably easier to do it this way than it is to cut out separate infusible ink. And I'll tell you why. Infusible ink, if you move it around too much, it can cause problems with something called shadowing or ghosting. So I just think it's easier to just go ahead and, maybe if you want to make a green one, nobody's gonna fault you for having a green, like all green turtle, right? So what you would do here is you would then select the whole image and you would hit weld right down here. And you'll notice that by welding, all of the same color appears. So just like here. So let's go ahead and have a look at the size before we go cutting it out. So these can koozies are about 4 inches by 4 inches. So I went a little bit less than that. And I think that that's a nice size. Here you see, I actually did a little triangle piece, and I did it on like a 4 inches wide, and maybe it's just a little less than 4 inches wide. This one's a little bit bigger, I think. And so that's what I did. So let me show you how to change the size if you are on your iPad. So you want to select the image and you're going to go to edit. And you see down here where it says width and height. I actually unlocked this, and then I could make it the exact size I wanted. And I can either do that by using this, the little handles, or I can actually go here. Oops. I can go here and just change it to like 3.75 by 3.75. Now, you got to be careful with this because some images can get distorted if you unlock. So just be aware of that. I mean, you don't want a really like tall turtle or a really short flamingo, right? So go ahead and make sure you use your perspective about that. Now, I've already changed and attached my my Joy through the Wi-Fi, but in the Bluetooth. Let me show you what I did. So first, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go to this hamburger and I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to make sure my machine is selected to Joy. You would make sure your machine was selected to whatever machine you're going to be cutting on. So mine's selected to Joy, but also because I'm using my iPad, I need to go to Bluetooth and connect this way. All right, so you can connect this way, and you have to do both things, okay? Then let's go back to the app and go to the canvas, and there's our turtle. So let's hit make it. So on the turtle, or on this particular thing, it automatically comes up as without mat. So we need to make a change there. We're going to be doing this on the mat, remember, because infusible ink is not a smart material. So we need to change the material load type. So let's go and touch on that. And we're going to say on mat. Okay. The other thing that we're going to do is, because it's infusible ink, it's going to have to be mirrored. So when it appears, because we turn it over, when it appears on the surface, it's not backward. Okay. So we have to mirror and put it on the mat, and then we hit next. And then we are going to choose our material. So infusible ink transfer sheet is one of my favorites, but if it's not one of yours, you just go to all materials, and it's located in the iron-on section, or it should be. Wait. Iron-on, infusible ink transfer sheet. Okay. And here we go. So it says, you do get a little warning. Make sure the mirror is turned on, which we do know it is. And the material is inked side up, which we also know that it is. So our Joy is flashing. So let's go ahead and place it underneath these two guides. And make sure that you've got your infusible ink on there really well. And then all you have to do is hit go. And it will start to cut it out. So this one's going to be cut out in a solid blue, almost like a royal blue. But before it came on, I did cut it out in this solid green. So I'll show you how this weeds. It's not like it iron-on. It is paper. So it tears like paper. So what you need to do is get sort of the edge going, and then start to pull off the part that you don't need on there. Now be careful, because this turtle and some other projects have little pieces. See these little sort of scales? Is that what they are? Scales are pretty small, so you don't want to lose them. But if you do lose them, you can pick them up, as long as you don't as long as they don't go flying somewhere. You can pick them up and replace them inside. So if something fell off, I could replace them. And then for the middle piece, I am going to take this out and the seat, just like that. So obviously it's backward this way, but when you turn it over, that's how you're going to apply it. So this acts a little bit like a carrier sheet for the infusible ink. And so Dawn, you have to come and clean my house first before they come clean your house. All right, so this is all done. So we're kind of done using the Joy now. We're just going to take this off of the mat, put that aside, and we'll do the same thing that we did. And again, we only used half of the sheet, so let's keep that, because we want to be frugal people. And we are putting it back in the box. Best to always place the infusible ink back in its original container, and because even the slightest amount of liquid or moisture can cause problems. All right. So this is what we would do. And I don't know why I'm doing this one again. I just showed you how to do it, so I don't have to show you. All right. So now we're on to the pressing part. Okay. So today I'm going to be using the EasyPress 3. This is the latest, one of the latest presses available in the Cricut line. You know, we've shown you the auto press, but the EasyPress 3 is very similar to the EasyPress 2 and the 1, with one major difference, and that is the addition of an app called Cricut Heat that allows you to manage the pressing much more succinctly. Okay, so it is available in the App Store wherever you get your apps. So mine is an Apple, so I go to Apple Store and download. It's free. It's called Cricut Heat, and I have it right here. So the first thing that we want to do after we've connected, and there is a process of connecting it, okay? But when we turn it on, it will immediately connect the machine, and it will actually go to the last heat setting that we had it for. So in this case, the last use I did infusible ink transfer sheet, and I can actually pick up whatever my last settings are, or I can even set a custom time and a temperature. If you need help with anything else, there is a user guide, so definitely take care of that, or by reading that, or you can actually learn more about just different things about iron-on and such. So we're going to start a new project. And in this case, we're going to select the transfer material for infusible ink transfer sheets. And because this is neoprene, and neoprene doesn't show up on this cutout, on this thing, I actually chose something else. So I chose an aluminum sheet. I don't know if that was the best choice. Maybe I should have chose tote bag or something, or but it was a little hard to decide. So in this case, it was kind of trial and error. So I chose, in this case, I'll choose tote bag. I'm going to hit next. And we are going to heat it up to 385. We're going to preheat for 15 seconds, press for 40 seconds, and then wait till it cools off to peel. So now we send the settings to the EasyPress like that, and it's sending the settings, and it's also telling me that I have 51 seconds left. It seems to be going back and forth, but I have about a minute left for this to reach the temperature that I need it to be. So while I'm waiting for that to heat up, let's get we'll just kind of push this out of the way. So we need the EasyPress mat, which I just love this little thing. And where's our cutout? Is this it? Hey, what happened to the oh, here it is. Sorry. And let's pick something that will go well with the green. How about this yellow? Like that. And it fits so perfectly at 3 3¾ of an inch, doesn't it? Look at that. Boop. Perfect. Okay. If you wanted to, by the way, you could trim it up. That's fine. Now, with infusible ink, they do suggest that you use butcher paper, except for if you're using the mug press. So remember, I stole that little bit of butcher paper from the other box. That's this, and I can just cut it in half. I don't need the whole sheet. And once we have this on here, make sure that it's all lined up. We can just wait until our press is heated up. Now, because this is neoprene, I don't think we need to use the preheat. Preheat is good for when you're using other things, but I didn't use the preheat for the other thing. Well, I suppose we could do it because the heat press is going to make us do it anyway. So why don't we do it the way that the press wants us to do it? Okay, it's now available. It's now ready, and it says 385 plus. Let me show you on the machine, the actual machine, the green light is actually lit up. All right, so we're going to preheat this blank. We just need to put this on here and hit that green light and it's preheating. I'm using 2 hands here where you can see it's doing the countdown for me. This is something that I always would forget or skip, actually, because I'm like, I don't have my watch on, and it was always difficult. All right. And so there you go. We did 15 seconds as a preheat. Now we're going to take our infusible ink with the ink side down. Okay. Ink side down. And we're going to position it exactly where we want it, which is right here. Now there is some stick here, but if you feel uncomfortable, like it's going to move, and moving with infusible ink is a bad scene. So if you feel like it's going to move, you can certainly use your tape to hold it in place. If you move it, infusible ink can cause what's called ghosting, and ghosting makes it look really not professional at all. The wonderful thing about infusible ink, though, is once you do it, it's on there. It is on there for good. Okay, so I have taped this in place, and now I'm just going to pick this up, and it says already 40 seconds. I don't have to fiddle with the guide. I can just go ahead. It says to apply light pressure. And we've got a few seconds left. I'm also going to show you how to switch from infusible ink to regular iron-on using the guide, the app, because I think that that's entirely possible. It's what I started with, was regular iron-on, and it's probably going to mean that we have to wait for the machine to go down in temperature before we can go ahead and press regular iron-on. Okay, so here you go. It's done, and we're going to wait for it to cool down. The reason the actual like chemical reaction has already happened in infusible ink. It's not about like making sure that it's stuck on, because there's nothing to really stick on, but rather it's just about the heat and keeping your fingers from getting burned. So if you can get around that, which I usually will do, I'm just going to remove some of this tape, and let's see what our end result is going to be. This is such an easy craft, and it's perfect for this weekend and for the coming summer, and maybe for dad or something. But oh wow, look at that. Oh, it's so cute, isn't it? Let's put it in the pretend can and see how it came out. Whoop. All right. And by the way, this is ready to go. You don't have to wash it or wait or anything like that. It is ready to go. Wouldn't it be nice if your whole family, let's say if you had a boat or something, and your whole family had their own little turtle that had their initial on it? I think that would be so cute. And I'm going to put this beside my pot, my growing pile. Now let's do, oh, and by the way, this is the finished part of infusible ink. You notice that it started off as green, right? On this side, it was green, and now it is completely like white. And that's because the ink that was impregnated on the paper was turned into a gas, and the ink in the form of a gas traveled to our koozie, and it attached itself. So what that means is it's a very different kind of iron-on. So look, you can actually, not that you can really take and stretch these out too much, but you can see it doesn't do anything because it's not lying flat on there. This is iron-on, and it's lying flat on there. And see how if I pulled it, it would kind of distort a little bit. That is not going to happen here with the infusible ink. But let's do the iron-on just in case, okay? So let's go back to our heat press, and we're going to start a new project. This is our heat press app. not the guide, it's the app. Okay. And we're going to choose a transfer material. Here we do have the choice, or we used to have the choice of the neoprene. And I also have some glitter. So here's some glitter. So I'm going to choose glitter iron-on, and neoprene is right here. That's what we're going to choose. So we're going to hit next, and we have to send the settings. You see that the temperature has to go down, because right now it is set for 385. And so let's send the settings to the machine, and it is going to reduce the heat. You see, now it says 10 minutes. I don't think it's going to take that long, but while it is doing that, let us talk about the rest of the week, and we'll also get this ready as well. So let's do this glittery one. I don't know what color. How about this? And let's do an R. We did. So here was the monogram, which actually I cut out like this, and I figured I would do it together. So I cut it out in 2 different colors, and then I would do it together. I'm not sure if that's the right color to do. How about this? And I think that I will do it together like this, as long as I don't have any problem with this part touching the plastic transfer sheet. So I'm going to trim it up a tiny bit. All right. So it is the end of the week almost, and ready for the Memorial Day weekend. I have plans, nothing fun. I'm still working on cleaning my house, and we are doing quite a bit of work here. So I'm not going to have anything this weekend. Last weekend we did have a Zoom, but I will be back on Monday, and Monday is when I will be picking the winners. Well, actually on Sunday I'll pick the winners, and on Monday I'll be announcing the winners of the May giveaways, which is that's been going on. So this is your reminder that it's still going on, and you can still get your name in. If you already did it, you can do it every single day. And yeah, so don't forget to get your name in, because you could be a winner. You could be winning a Cricut Mug Press, or a Cricut Bright Pad Go, or a number of other smaller prizes that we give away this month. I'm giving away, it's $800 worth, retail value worth of product from Cricut. The items shipped from Cricut. This is only for the US and Canada right now. And I'm sorry about that for my friends who watch from other countries. But it's only, they don't ship there apparently. I don't know the whole story, but it's just only for you guys in the US and Canada. And all you have to do is follow the link that's in the description of this video after the video, once it's on replay. Okay. So here's what I did. I just kind of trimmed this up because I wanted to press them both together, but I didn't want any overlap here. Okay. And there you go. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. That's a cute monogram. Let's see how we're doing on the app. Oh. Okay, so it's at 336 degrees, and it's got 4 minutes left. So I guess I can talk for 4 minutes, but let me get a little bit of a drink first. The link will be in the description. The other thing is, yes, thank you so much for all the likes, the comments, and the sharing. That's the goal of the giveaways, is to get my subscriber base up. We are at almost 21,000. Let's see if we can't hit 21,000 this weekend with the end of the contest, and then it's onward to our ultimate goal for the end of the year is 25,000. And I can't do it without you all, so I thank you so much. It's so easy, and you can win a prize, so why not, right? Why not? And then if you've already subscribed, all you need to do is to like, comment, or share the video, and so others can learn about me, and then they can subscribe, and then you can put your name in. So you could just, once you're subscribed, you could just put your name in every day by simply sharing one of my videos, my daily videos. That would work too. Now there is a you have 100 boxes of infusible ink, Mary Jane. Oh, nature wood. Yes, that is a nature wood. I was a false craft like collector for a very long time. I actually gave my nature wood collection to my friend Molly, and so she has them now, but I still have the odd piece hanging around, so that's what this is. And I switch them out. I have the winter stuff, the fall. Actually, I have 4 sets still. I used to have more. I know, I'm like crazy like that. So we're still waiting for this, so come on. And Oh yeah, the mystery boxes. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to remind you that that we're on Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. every day. And we stream on Facebook and YouTube. So you can watch it either on Facebook or YouTube, and hopefully there'll be some changes with that as I grow and learn. I'm running out of space again, so I'm trying to make some changes there, here. And so between coming up with projects every day and making changes to be more professional, it's a full-time job. It's a lot of work. So I have somebody to help me a little bit, and that's great. But I'm probably going to rely on you guys a little bit more. I need to rely on you guys a little bit more. Um, sympathy card. Oh, I really, really love the Anagriffin, uh, the Anagriffin layered. It's like there's actually a video I did about that Dawn. I might be able to share that sympathy card. Oh, speaking of sharing, I know that a lot of you are new to the community, and I wanted to show you while I'm here waiting for my app, if what to look for if you are on your iPad and you want to see the community. So if I'm on my canvas, use the back arrow right here. And then I'm going to choose, see these little lines, they're light green with circles. You're going to press on that. When you press on that, you'll see categories. And there it is right there, Cricut Community. And now you can see all of these lovely community projects that people are posting. They should all be free. Now, if for some reason they've used something like this, which is a frozen image, which I know is licensed, you will probably have to pay for that. So you see, you're going to get this file, but you'd have to pay for this image from of Elsa. Now, I do also have my own project, and I'm trying to think. Let me just, what did I post? I recently updated some of them, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to find them, but I don't know if you can even look up by name. Nope, you can't look up by name yet, so forget it. So under the Cricut community, when you do find me, which I do post it projects, and I will continue to post projects. It's probably the best place for you to find my projects, all in one place. then you can maybe follow me, and then you'll be able to see all those projects every single day. Hey, guess what? The EasyPress is ready. So let's go ahead and go back here and see. It's ready. It's on 280 seconds. And so we are going to get our little mat, and we're going to preheat this for 5 seconds. We're going to hit that that button. It's going to count down, just so you can see. And I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to place my iron on. Now, this you don't have to be as careful about. And if you wanted to do it in 2 steps, I suppose you could. Oh, and you can also, for sure, use tape if that's going to help you. Hey, might as well, since we have it here in our little tape dispenser. So I'm thinking this looks pretty darn good. I am going to, and you can actually put tape right on top like this. Don't be fearful of that not working out. All right. Tape becomes really, really important when you're working with the hat press, which I know I haven't shown you too much about. So I'm hoping that next week we can add that. Now tomorrow we were originally scheduled to do a Pinterest craft, but I think I'm going to backtrack and do what I had planned to do on Monday before I get sick, which is converting an insert card to a regular card, a really cool thank you card that I think is great to have in your card box. Okay, you ready? All we need to do this is for 20 seconds. We do not need the butcher paper for this. We just need to lift it up, check and make sure you got that on there good. And then we're going to place it on and press that button for the 20 seconds. Now, in this case, because it's not infusible ink, there is a question of you have to make sure it's cool enough before you try to peel it off. Sometimes when you are trying to peel it off too soon, it lifts. If it does lift, you can press. Okay. And so if you're finding once it's cool and it's like lifting, maybe something happened, or maybe I'm trying to peel it too soon, that sort of thing, then you can repress it. But the important thing about this is if you do peel off that transfer, then you need to cover this if you're going to repress. Okay. Just because you do not want your EasyPress or even your iron, if you're using an iron, you do not want that to actually touch the iron on. Same goes for after the fact. So let's say you did this on a t-shirt and you need to touch up the t-shirt because it's wrinkly. Just avoid the and what I would normally do is just turn it inside out and then use my iron, because you don't want to put iron on and any of the iron-on surface. With infusible ink, it really doesn't matter because it's already in your material, right? So here we go. We're just peeling off this. It's already cool. So this is something you could whip up easily in like less than an hour with the right materials. Here it is. Isn't that great? Ooh, fancy. So let's say you're doing, I don't know, a bridal shower. You could give one to every one of the maids of honor, or just, again, like this is just perfect. You can leave it on the boat or in your camping gear, so that way you have them. I just really like this craft. It was so easy and fun, and I think the results are really nice. So here is regular iron-on. This is glitter. This is metallic everyday. And here is infusible ink. And this one is solid, and this is a pattern. So you have a lot of opportunity to mess around with all of these wonderful monograms. Let's go back to the canvas. All these lovely monograms. Now, again, just so that you know, if you're working with an iPad, you won't see the monogram maker here yet. So if you are looking for the Monogram maker, you'd have to be, it has to update, and they roll out the update. So they can't like offer it to everyone all at once. I guess it puts a strain on their system. So if you haven't got it yet, be patient. You will get it soon. And it creates some pretty nifty little monograms that you can then, once you save it on your desktop, you can open it up with your iPad and then do this. Isn't that great? Barbecue in the backyard. Pretty cool. Yes, and Gail's mentioning, you could probably do 2 or 4 in the auto press. Yes, you could. But I really, the auto press is sort of, as we've talked about before, the auto press is what I would consider a considered purchase. It's something you have to think about, or maybe someone's going to give to you as a gift. It's very high. It might be out of the price range of a lot of people, but the EasyPress is not. I think that, a lot of times you can pick up the 1 and the 2 either on the secondary market, or even buy it using your Cricut Access, and it's easier to swallow the cost. It's definitely worth it, and of course you can still use your iron, but auto press, at least with iron on, you can use your iron. The auto press definitely would do maybe even 6, I don't know, but would definitely do all 4 at the same time. But if you were going to do that, you'd have to have the same type of iron on, in terms of, because infusible ink has a different setting than, as we know, than everyday iron on does. So let's remember that. And I can show you how to do something like that with the auto press, but I wanted to really just kind of focus on our EasyPress there. All right, everybody, that's it for me today. I hope everyone is doing well. And we will see you again tomorrow. We're going to be doing a little backtracking. I thank you for being patient with me. I had a terrible flu bug or something. It wasn't COVID or anything, but that I got from my darling son. So there you go. And it's sort of lingered. I still don't feel 100%. So just try to stay healthy, folks, and I'll see you again tomorrow with our thank you card, the reworked thank you card. All right, everyone, take care.